Loud. All right, guys. Good morning again. Welcome to the weekly industry update. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry I was a little bit late. I am I run into some difficulty sometimes getting up and down the stairs. And I overestimated my ability to do that and get set up with just a little bit of time. So I apologize for that. Um, but like I said, I am going to my post-op appointment tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. My leg is healing. It's healing, I think, at the same speed as the other one. It's well, I should say I feel like it's a little slower. Maybe I should say that. I think it's a little bit slower. It's weird. It's just it's weird because I feel like I should be making more progress than I am. And yet the people around me, my husband, my mom, my kids are like, "No, you're about where you were." And they keep telling me like, "Stop being so impatient," and they just don't understand that. Yeah, I am impatient because as a realtor, and some of you guys can probably understand this, as a realtor, uh, number one, we're our own business, right? So
Yes.
if we're down, our business is down, right? If I'm down, like I mean, although I'm doing things and I'm talking to agents and I'm talking to clients and I'm active. I'm not able to be out like Marlena was talking about. I'm not able to be out showing properties. So it makes a difference. And so yeah, so when you're down, you feel it. As a realtor, you feel like, oh wow, like I need to get up. So so I'm very impatient. So I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm hoping that I get the clearance and that I'm able to get back to being up and about. Limited, it'll be limited at first, but at least it'll be up and about in some regularity. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, Danila. Of course, it is my pleasure to be here. Um, all right, let's go ahead and get started. You guys know BTCPA compliant. Please do not call people on the do not call list. I know it's tempting, but don't do it because at the end of the day, people are very litigious. They want to get some money and they can see you as a paycheck. So don't do it. Okay, if they're on the do not call list, just don't call. All right. In Los Angeles County, for sale properties are up 2% as compared to last month. So we are comparing in this first column, we're comparing August 1st to August 15th, and we're comparing that to July 1st through July 15th. Okay, so we're up 2%. Year over year, we're up 1.5% as compared to last year. So for sale properties has more properties on the market than there were last year. Okay, to the tune of 1.5% in Los Angeles County. Okay, I mean it's a small amount, but it's better than it was last year, which is definitely a good sign. Sold properties is down 18.1% as compared to last year, and down 1.6% I'm sorry, down 18.1% as compared to last month, and down 1.6% as compared to last year. Okay. So we are still lagging last year's market to the tune of 1.6%. That's not a big number, but it is still down when you compare that we were down last year as compared to the previous year. So 2026 is down compared to 2025, and 2025 was down compared to 2024. Okay. So we're on a downward spiral, if you will. And so that's why for those of us who've been in business, some of us do literally feel this downward trend, like in our business. We feel less phone calls coming in. We feel less referrals coming in, right? And some of you who've been trying to get referrals, and some of you who've been door knocking and who've been doing some lead generation might feel like it's taking more effort, like Marlena could feel like it's taking more effort to actually get that client. Well, it is because our market is down a bit. Okay. What does that mean? That means that you have to double down on your efforts. You have to actually get out there and do more to get the same amount. And I know that you guys, that may not be like the greatest news, right? Like who wants to hear that? And I'm not here to be Dr. Downer either. But I do want to give you the reality, and I don't want you out here thinking something that is not true, right? And thinking, oh, you know, um, I don't know, you just having different thoughts that aren't really true. Some people are saying, oh, you can't do well in this market. And that's not true. Okay. Because we have a lot of agents out here crushing it because they're doing the work. So all I'm here to tell you is that if you do the work, you're going to get the result. You just have to do a little bit more of the work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pendants are down 7.2% as compared to last month and down 0.9% as compared to last year. Okay. LA, excuse me, LA County, new listings are down 21.6% as compared to last year and down 4.6% as compared to last. I'm sorry, I'm switching it up. 21.6% down as compared to last month and 4.6% down as compared to last year. So although we're seeing that for sale properties, like properties that were as compared to last year, we have more inventory on the market as compared to last year. That's this number. Okay. We actually have 4.6% less new listings on the market than we did last year. Okay. So we really do. And in LA County, although LA County is huge, we do like to see new listings on the market. We do see more new listings on the market in San Bernardino County, Riverside County. Why? Because they have more land for development, right? So that's typically where you see more new listings, if you will. Average active price has gone down 2.9% as compared to last month and down 1.2% as compared to last year. So in LA County, on average, sellers are asking 1.2% less than they did last year. Okay. So sellers are definitely understanding um, that there's less buyers in this market. So although there's less inventory in the market, new listing inventory and slightly more existing inventory in the market, um, average active price has gone down 1.2% because in all honesty, there's less buyers in this market. Okay. There's less activity in this market. Okay. So they're trying to adjust. Now they are asking 1.2% less, they're receiving 1.3% less than they were last year. Okay. So they're pretty even in terms of what they're asking, 1.2% less. They're receiving 1.3% less. Okay. Months of inventory has gone up 24.6%. So last month we were at 3.7 months of inventory, currently 4.6 months of inventory. We are up 2.6% over last year. Last year, we're at 3.8 months of inventory, currently 3.9 months of inventory. So we are definitely moving towards really with 3.9 months of inventory, we're knocking on the door of that normal market that we've been talking about. Okay. So right now, 3.9 months of inventory is still considered a seller's market, although it is definitely knocking on the door of the normal market, okay, with 3.9 months of inventory. Average days on market has gone up 2.6%. We were at 38 days on market last month. We're at 39 days on market currently. And then we're at 8.1% higher than we were last year. Last year, we are at 37 days on market, currently 40 days on market. Do not let the days on market fool you guys, because remember, houses in desirable areas with good school districts, with good shopping around, good amenities around, those properties are still going to go fast. One of my clients was at an open house this weekend here in Ontario, in Ontario Ranch, kind of similar to where I live. I live in Ontario Ranch, but on the other side. And she was like, "Oh, there's a lot of people here." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right by everything over there." And the price was right. So you don't have 40 days. You don't have 40 days because that property is going to go over the weekend. Okay. Sold versus original list price has gone up 1%. We were at 96% of list price last month. We're at 97% of list price currently. No change as of last year. Sellers are receiving 97% of their list price. All right, let's go into Orange County. For sale properties is up 2.1% as compared to last month. Very similar, right, to LA County, that they had an increase, and up 3.5% as compared to last year. So this is an even bigger number as compared to last year. So more inventory on the market as compared to last year. We probably can what do you call it? Not estimate, but we can probably tell why, because we do have less buyers in the market, right? So there's more inventory on the market, that less buyers who are swooping up that inventory, right? Just have more active inventory on the market. We have more sellers who decided, like, I'm tired of waiting. I want to go ahead and sell. These are sellers who probably want to downsize, where the interest rate's not going to hit them as much because they want to downsize. They want to buy something that's lesser, like a condo, or even going into a senior home. Remember, we have what they call the silver tsunami coming up. With the silver tsunami is when all of our baby boomers, right, are starting to downsize, or starting to go to senior homes, are starting to move in with their children, right? And so those homes coming on the market, that's a part of that silver tsunami. And that's a part of this inventory that you are seeing, is the people who need to move, who want to move, and and where the interest rates are not going to impact them as much, right? Based on their type of move. And those are the sellers that really we need to be looking for, right? We need to be looking for those sellers who need to move, who are very motivated to move, right, or sell. Those are the sellers that we need to be looking for, not the sellers who can take it or leave it, right? Because I'm good with my house. I'm not in any danger. I can pay my note. And God bless them. I'm happy for them. Great. But if they're not motivated to move, then you really need to, although you want to nurture them, you need to move on, because they may not be the seller that's going to make that decision right now. Once you determine that that's not in their best interest and they say no, move on, nurture them, keep in touch, but move on, right? All right. Sold properties are down 17.6% as compared to last month, and down 1.1% as compared to last year. So just like LA County, Orange County is lagging behind last year's market to the tune of 1.1%. Not a lot, but still lagging behind last year's market. Pendants are up 2% as compared to last month, and down 0.8% as compared to last year. New listing inventory is down 32.4% as compared to last month. That's a big number. So just new listing inventory has gone down in this first 15 days of the month. We'll see how that continues, but it's only down 4.6% as compared to last year. Okay. Average active price has gone down 1.6% as compared to last month, and down 6.1% as compared to last year. Okay. So sellers in Orange County are a little bit more drastic. They're asking 6.1% less than they did last year. Now, on average, they're selling for 3.6% more than they did last year. Okay. So although they're asking for less, they're selling for more. This is the epitome of what I just talked about, which is in areas that are more desirable, right? You are still going to have competition. You are still going to have appreciation. And Orange County tends to be one of those areas where the school districts are some of the top school districts, some of the top areas with the top shopping. It's very desirable, right? And so look, their average sold price has actually gone up on average. Remember, this is not all areas. You could be in a neighborhood where the average sold price has gone down. You got to be careful about making blanket statements, right? Because this is not every single city, every single neighborhood in Orange County. This is overall. Okay. All right. Months of inventory has gone up 22.5% as compared to last month. Last month, we were sitting at 2.7 months of inventory, currently 3.3 months of inventory, and it has gone up 3.6% overall. Last month, I'm sorry, last year we were at 2.8 months of inventory, currently 2.9. So again, that's where we see that hike in price, right? We're in a seller's market in Orange County overall, on average, right? We're not sitting in a close to a normal market. This isn't close to a normal market. This is in the pocket of a seller's market. Now it's inching up, but we're still in the pocket of a seller's market in Orange County. Average days on market has gone down 2.9%. So last month we were at 34 days on market, currently 33 days on market. A 12.9% increase as compared to last year. Last year we're at 31 days on market, currently 35 days on market. And then 1.1% increase. Last month we were at 95% of list price, currently 96% of list price. Sellers are receiving 96% of their list price. And then a 1% decrease as compared to last year. Last year we're at 97% of list price. Currently, sellers are receiving 96% of their list price. And this is, again, you got to be careful neighborhood wise, be very specific, be hyper local, as we say, because in some areas, sellers are receiving 100% of their list price, right? Depending on their pricing strategy is what it really is going to depend on. A lot of sellers probably in Orange County are still trying to get that top of the market and realizing that buyers are being a little bit more discerning, and they're like, I'm not willing to pay that top price when your neighbor didn't sell for that top price. So they are still being picky, right? And sitting back. And so it looks like sellers are having to bring that price down off of their whatever their price is. They're having to come down to the tune of 90, only receiving 96% of their list price. Okay. That buyers right now are being pickier. Okay. Although, and there's not a lot of them out there. They're just not in droves. Okay. So you have to be careful about that. Because buyers are very discerning right now. All right. Riverside County. For sale properties is down 1.7% as compared to last month, and down 4.8% as compared to last year. So unlike LA County and Orange County, in Riverside County, for sale properties is actually down, right? In Orange and LA, we were up. So we are down to the tune of 4.8%, less properties on the market than there were last year. Okay. Solds are down 18.7% as compared to last month, and down 2.7% as compared to last year. So that's keeping in line with all the other counties, although this is a greater margin in it than we saw in LA and Orange County. Okay. It's 2.7% less sales than we had last year. Pendants are up 8% as compared to last month. That's a great sign, and up 0.4% as compared to last year. So more properties have gone into escrow. 0.4% more properties have gone into escrow as compared to last year. New listings are up 28.2% as compared to last month, and down 28.2% as compared to last month, and down 7.2% as compared to last year. So even a bigger deficit of new listings, right? So less new listings on the market as compared to last year. Average active price has gone down 2.6% as compared to last month, and down 0.8% as compared to last year. So sellers on average in Riverside County are asking 0.8% less than they did last year. That's not a big amount at all, but they are asking a little bit less, being a little bit more conservative on their pricing. However, they are receiving 0.3% higher. So although they're asking for less, they're getting just a slight bit more. Okay. Months of inventory is up 20.2%. So last month we were at 3.5 months of inventory, currently 4.2 months of inventory. And we're down 2.9% as compared to last year. Last year we were sitting at 3.4 months of inventory, currently 3.3 months of inventory. So not a big difference. But this does indicate, guys, that in Riverside County, we are still in a seller's market overall, right? sitting at 3.3 months of inventory, is still a seller's market. Average days on market has gone up 15.2% as compared to last month. Last month, we're at 46 days on market, currently 53 days on market, and a 2% increase as compared to last year. Last year, we're at 51 days on market, currently 52 days on market. Sold versus original list price has gone down 1%. We were at 97% of list price last month. Sellers are receiving 96% of their list price currently. And no change as compared to last year. Last year, we were at 96% of list price, and that is still the same. Okay. We help our sellers get 100% of their list price by first starting with the right pricing strategy. So, really, we have got to help our sellers get that. Focus on setting the right price from the get-go. Okay. We really have to help our sellers with that. All right. Last county of the day. Let's hit San Bernardino County. For sale properties is up 1.8% as compared to last month and down 6.7% as compared to last year. Sold properties are down 15.5% as compared to last month and down 1.5% as compared to last year. So again, for sale properties is keeping in line with Riverside County in that it's down versus being up, as compared to LA and Orange County. Excuse me, guys. Sold properties is down 1.5%. Now that's all across all counties. We're seeing that we're just in a slower market than we were last year, right? Pendants are down 1.2% as compared to last year. Again, that is keeping in line actually with LA and Orange County. We saw an uptick in pendants in Riverside County. Okay. New listings are down 23% as compared to last month and down 8.3% as compared to last year. And that again is keeping in line with all the counties. That new listing inventory has just gone down. Okay. Average active price is down 0.6% as compared to last month and down 0.9 or up 0.9% as compared to last year. So in San Bernardino County, just like in Riverside County, sellers on average are asking higher than they were last year. This is a little bit higher, 0.9% higher than they were last year. And unlike Riverside County, in San Bernardino County, they're receiving less. So they're receiving 0.5% less than they did last year. Okay. On average. All right. Months of inventory, 22.3% higher. We were at 4 months of inventory last month. We're at 4.9 months of inventory currently. A 4.5% decrease. So last year we were at 4.5 months of inventory, currently 4.3 months of inventory. So San Bernardino County is the only county among the 4 that we track that is legit, as they say, in a 4.3. They're a legit sellers, a legit buyer's market or normal market. Good grief, I had to go through all the markets to get there. The legit normal market, right? At 4.3 months of inventory, we are really getting into a normal market. We are definitely, we have crossed the barrier. We are in a normal market, but we are at the beginnings, right, of that normal market. The normal market is anywhere between 4 to 6 months of inventory. Okay. So that's your normal market. All right. So, and what does that look like? I know I say that and I just don't want to leave it there. The normal market is where for every seller, there's a buyer, right? You don't see the multiple offer situations too often. Now, again, there's always the exception because you do have those areas and those homes that are just very desirable and everybody wants that home. So you will see that on occasion. But the reality is that in a normal market, you'd really see you see that less often. Okay. You see sellers being a little bit more lenient or reasonable with their asking price. Reasonable, definitely. They may even offer just a little bit of concession. Okay. So you know what? It's very similar. I just had a listing in Rialto. Okay. My sellers were being a little bit overzealous on their asking price. I told them that from the beginning, that we're at the top of the market. The market did not respond to our price. We had to reduce our price, and we had competition. Our price was here, our competition was here. And they were very similar homes. So there was really no reason why someone would buy our home over their home. Okay. We had no other factors that would make us better. Matter of fact, if anything, we had a backyard that needed a lot of work, and those backyards were well manicured. Okay. So I said, we got to reduce our price. So they did. They reduced by 15,000. And granted, guys, we got an offer at the upper price. And my buyer and my sellers wanted to try to negotiate the crap out of it, and ended up losing the buyer. Okay. Because the buyer was like, no, I'm not gonna, take less than the closing costs that I need. My buyer's agent is not gonna take less. They didn't like all the concessions we came back with. Okay. So we got an offer. Bottom line, we got an offer. So you see how that one-to-one, like, you got a house, you reduce it, you to a decent price, you get an offer. Okay, at that offer, what ended up happening, my sellers reduced to 485. Yeah, 485. Trying to think. 45, 585, 585, 585. They reduced to 585 from 599 to 585. These buyers said, we need 15,000 in closing costs. So what they did is they came in at 595 and asked for 15,000. So really they were asking for 5, right? Because they gave us 10. They gave us 10 over asking. So making concessions like that to make it work, you see that in a normal market. Okay, that's what you see in a normal market. You see sellers making some concessions, buyers trying to make it so that the sellers don't have to concede too much, and people working together, right, in that win-win situation. No one of you guys has the ultimate leverage in a normal market. Whereas a buyer's market, buyers have the leverage. In a seller's market, sellers have the leverage, right? In a normal market, you guys are working together to make that win-win situation. You should always be doing that. But depending on the market, somebody has the upper hand. As a seller, if I'm in a seller's market and I got 10 offers, why should I give you concessions? Got 9 other offers over here, right? So you guys see the point. All right, I'm not going to beat that drum anymore. All right, so average days on market in San Bernardino County has gone up 2.3%, 43 days on market last month, 44 days on market this month, and 8.7% higher as of compared to last year. Last year, we're at 46 days on market, complete 50 days on market. Sold versus original list price has gone down 8.2%. We were at 98% of list price, currently 90% of list price. So something happened there. Some big reduction. A couple of homes that must have had some big reductions. 97% of list price overall as compared to last year. So no change. Sellers are happy at 97%, right? That is the upper 90s. Sellers want 100%. Let's keep it real. They want 101, 102%, right? They don't want 97 if they can avoid it. But definitely 97 is definitely right there in terms of being in the upper 90s. Sellers tend to be happy when they're in the upper 90s, getting close to their asking price. That's just the bottom line. Getting close to their asking price. They're typically happy because a lot of sellers, in their mind, they're shooting for higher than they really would take, right? That's their psychology. Is like, okay, if I put my house on the market for 800, I'll accept 775, right? Or I'll accept 770, right? But I want to put it out there for 8 so that I can, get so that I have some wiggle room, as they call it, right? That's what happens. All right. All right, guys. So we are done with our actual stats for the day, or actual numbers for the day. So let's get into some upcoming events. This week is actually Mega Camp. I'm really bummed that I'm not going to be at Mega Camp this year. Mega Camp is always a good time. Rich is there. Nick, our team leader in Marina Del Rey, Santa Monica is there. Franco is still here, so you'll see him in the office, I think today or tomorrow. So Mega Camp is going on. We have our industry update today. We also have Breakthrough 120. So again, Breakthrough 120, we have it on the calendar because again, we want you guys to come in and actually lead generate, right? And a lot of times when you guys get into the habit of coming into the office, there's synergy, right? When you come into the office, you feel everybody's energy. That's the whole thing of coming into the office and us doing it all together. Okay. And then you've got group coaching at 12 with Diana. Thank you, Diana, so much for having my back during this month of August. I can't tell you how much I really, truly appreciate you. She is a gem. So thank you so much, Diana, for that. I saw her on. Conversations in Real Play tomorrow. Everybody should be taking advantage of Conversations in Real Play tomorrow. We have our tech workshop on Wednesday. Diana is actually taking over that because Martha is on her birthday tour right now. So Martha is on vacation, and she deserves that. So she's on vacation Wednesday. And I don't think she's back until the end of the month. But Diana will be doing our tech workshop. And then we've got Ed is doing broker hour. Let's see what his topics are. Ed is doing, he's doing his workshop. Okay. No, he is on Wednesday. I'm sorry. He's right here. The basics of probate. So the basics of probate on Wednesday at 10. Everybody should be on that one. If you don't know the first thing about probate, you need to. Trust me. If you plan on making this a career, you will need to know about the basics of probate. Diana, go right ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that today's group coaching, we're going to talk about conducting, hosting open house. I'm going to use the open house playbook to discuss, so I'll have a handout. And for the technology, it's how to do a cloud CMA using the
Awesome.
CRMLS. That will be Wednesday. So I just thought of letting everybody know who's on. So
That's
they can
great.
chime
And
in.
Diana, can you do me a favor? Can you send that to the front desk so that
Hmm?
they could put those topics on the calendar?
I will.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think that's great.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right. And then let's see. We have a lunch and learn on Friday, it looks like. Learning to save for your future, the power of financial literacy with Steppen. He's been in our class. I've been in our office a couple of times. So you guys definitely take advantage of that. He's teaching financial literacy. So take advantage of that. Um, hang on, guys. I think I'm sorry, one second. I got because I'm down, my husband called me a couple of times while I'm teaching. Then my mom calls because I think my husband probably called my mom like, hey, she's not answering. Um, and so they get nervous because we have stairs, accidents happen. So I'm like, I'm fine, guys. I'm just teaching. But I love that they love me. All right, so let's go. Um, I did have an article I wanted to share with you guys. We have our team meeting coming up next week. So make sure that you plan for our team meeting on August 25th at 2:00. Um, and then we have our bonfire on the 27th, August 27th. That's with KW Huntington Beach. Okay. So make sure that you guys sign up for that. That's the QR code. You actually do have to sign up for it. You actually do have to, because they got to know how much food. The office really typically supplies the meat between us and Huntington Beach, supplies the meat, but we all bring the sides. Okay. So it's a lot of fun. We normally have, I don't know, about 15 of us who participate. We'd love to have more. It is a lot of fun, you guys. We have, like you see, we do have an actual bonfire, but it starts earlier. So come hang out, Meet and network with some of your fellow agents in other offices, because you never know when you're going to be submitting an offer. And on the other side of that offer, you see an agent. I can't tell, girl. I'm gonna say, girl. Uh, that means I'm really I'm really in the pocket right now. I'm trying to tell you guys. Can't tell you how many times I have won an offer simply because the other agent and I had a relationship. We knew each other, and my reputation and the fact that we had a good relationship made such a big difference. I can't tell you how many times that has been the deciding factor, is that the agent on the other side said, hey, your offer was similar to everybody else's, but yet I know you and I know how you work. And I told my client, I told my seller that I wanted to work with you, that I trusted you. Now don't make me out to be a liar, right? So, so that it works, but you can only have that if you network with other agents. And so definitely you guys take advantage of the opportunities that you have to get to know other agents in other offices. Okay. And Rich Rector, our owner, he's good at introducing you. So if you go there for the intention, with the intention of getting to know other agents, he will make sure that he introduces you. You just need to go up to him and say, hey, Rich, I want to get to know some of your other agents. And if you guys want to do that, just let me know. I'll make sure Christy will seek you out and introduce you to her agents. I think I'm sure Franco's going to be there. So it's going to be a great opportunity, you guys, for you guys to have a good time, get to know other people, and eat some good food. I'm sorry, but ain't nothing better than some grilled hot dogs and hamburgers. I just love food off the grill. Just give me just about anything off the grill. Not anything, I'm lying, but you know what I mean. I
Some
love food off the
tequila.
grill.
Some tequila.
Oh, girl, say less, Diana. You know I'm down for some tequila. We always have it too, right? Got some
Yeah.
tequila, we have some good little margaritas. One year we was taking shots like we was high schoolers. Like it was crazy.
You
But
know
we had
what? We're all entitled. We're entitled for some downtime, okay, people. So
that's right.
we're always in culture in KW, but outside of culture, just saying,
That's right. We know how to have a good time. Let's just say that,
it's
right?
all good. Mhm.
That's right. Like I can't wait for us to do another Dodger game. I had the best time. That was so much fun. So yeah, we have a good time, you guys. I love our office. I love our culture. We just know how to have a good time together. We're family. We act like it. All right. I think we act better than family sometimes because family has some drama. We tend to keep ourselves drama free. So I love it. All right, let's go. There is a 5K run in Long Beach on September 12th. We're trying to get a team together. And you guys know, typically a run is a run walk. So if you're down to do a 5K run walk, Nayeli and Monica are quarterbacking this one. So get with them. It is going to be a good time if that's your thing, right? Clearly, I'm not doing that this year. Hopefully by next year. All right. And then this is cool. One of our newer agents, Julie, is into Pilates. And so, ladies, she wants us to go do a Pilates class. It is September 23rd. It's actually going to be at our office. So we are going to be doing Pilates at our office. Um, September 23rd, 6:30. So we're gonna move everything out. We're gonna you gotta have your mat. Make sure you bring your mat. So this is a full body sessions. All levels are welcome. Um, it's gonna be light stretch and relaxation. So again, this is I love this. Our lady leaders are forget what the name of our ladies group is, but we're trying to, well, I guess us guys will go ahead and have fun on our own. Yes, Santiago, I'm sorry, honey. We'll have to find something for the gents, okay? We'll have to find something for the gents. But this is for the ladies. Ladies, RSVP using this QR code here. Okay. There are limited seats. It's only 10 available, 10 spots available. So you got to reserve your spot. Okay. And if we do have a lot of ladies who want to participate, we're thinking of breaking up the time. like doing one at 5:30, one at 6:30, or one at 6:30 and one at 7:30. But you got to RSVP, okay? Yeah, football is back. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Ignite After Dark, guys. West Coast this is the QR code, 6:30. It's on Tuesdays. It's very good sessions for newer agents. Actually, it's good for anybody who needs a refresher in the fundamentals. Okay. So if you're a dual career agent and you need a refresher in the fundamentals, this is for you. Okay. We've got the real estate referral program through Airbnb. If any of your clients want to actually put their home on Airbnb, you can earn a referral fee. All you have to do is sign up. And it's mreanotes.com/Airbnb. Okay. And then the MREA podcast, pay attention. This is just good stuff. I pay attention to our MREA podcast every week. You should be listening. Let's see, the MREA podcast. Yeah, I have it on my phone. It comes up, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Look at Zillow and Realtor.
Okay, so it's coming up. So this session right now is stop buying leads. Get more listings from your database with Ryan Young, who is a millionaire real estate agent. So if you want to understand or learn how to stop buying leads, get more listings from your database, you want to listen to this 42-minute MREA podcast, okay? So pay attention. Look at the One Thing podcast. The One Thing podcast always has really good information about self-care and how to manage yourself while you're building a big business, right? I love Keller Williams because Keller Williams, to me, focuses on the whole person, not just your business. And I always tell people when I'm talking to them in a recruiting session, a lot of times it's not about the business that you build. If you build a big business, but you neglected everybody in your path to get there, what do you have when you get there, right? You want to have those relationships intact when you get to the mountaintop, as we say, okay? And so the One Thing podcast helps to talk about building that work-life balance, okay? And then we've got the $1 Billion Leadership Playbook. We've got the Keller Williams Podcast Network, where you've got Think Like a CEO. You've got Empire Builders. You got The Color of Money. And then we've got our real estate market update. Okay. So we've got a lot of different podcasts that you can listen to, YouTube channels that you can listen in on that actually are really going to make a difference. Okay. Feed yourself good things, guys. Just feed yourself good things, right? Instead of listening to the radio all the time, make your car your own little library where you can really dive into your business and get nuggets that are going to help your business. Mega Camp is already going on. All right. So there is this homeowner equity hits new high, even as underwater mortgages rise. I feel like I'm lagging. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're static. You're breaking.
I'm breaking up.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what to do. That's probably the network.
There, you're clear.
Okay. Thank you, Diana. So the homeowner equity hits new highs. So what they're basically talking about, guys, is that homeowner equity has been really good. It has hit a new high, but on the flip side of that, underwater mortgages are rising. Okay. So homeowner equity reached 18 trillion in June, but Texas and Florida are two states, and California is in there as well, that are either underwater or behind on payments or both. Okay. So Jorge talks about this all the time, that we are seeing more NODs and more NOTs. NODs, notice of default, NOT, notice of trustee sale. Guys, we got to be paying attention to this, because and those homeowners, most of them have equity. However, they have a problem keeping up with their mortgage. Okay. So we've got to be there to offer solutions. And I wanted to bring this to you because we have got to be there to offer solutions. You should start building some marketing around people who are missing payments, who's struggling to make your payment. Do you need to know your solutions or your options, right? We need to build some marketing around that. Okay, because they are struggling, and it is very evident. And it's not just, it's like I said, it's Texas, it's Florida, California. They call it the green belt, the green belt areas, they were saying in this article, are where they're seeing a lot of the borrowers who are underwater. So this was saying that, I mean, it's 44% up at a year over year. So we are 44% higher in terms of NODs, NOTs than it was last year. Okay. That's a big number. So let's pay attention. Again, we talked about areas where sellers need to sell, or, finding sellers who are more likely to sell. Those are sellers who are more likely to sell. Those are people who are more likely to sell because they're going to have a reason. They're going to be in default. Now, I will say this. I was on a call. I think Diana, you might have been on that call with me as well. With the default solutions division of Keller Williams,
Yes.
that group. Okay.
Yes.
And they were talking about that banks really do not want to foreclose, right? They're helping sellers as much as they can because they really do not want to foreclose. With that said, so you got, as a realtor, if you're able to help them get a modification, or if you're able to help them talk to their lender and figure out a solution besides selling, are they going to love you even more?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're going to get the referrals, guys. So even if it's not you selling the house, but you're actually facilitating them finding a solution other than selling, goodness, they're going to love you and they're going to send you referrals. So don't worry if you don't get the sale. You want to do what's right by the client no matter what, right? So don't worry if it's not, the sale is not the end solution. Okay.
I can, Brandy, regarding notice of default, I think for next group coaching, not today, next Monday, I can talk briefly about notice of default, short sales. So that way they have knowledge what they can do to prospect, because we have to have knowledge. You can't just prospect, say, oh, do you want a short sale, not know what you have to do. So I'll teach them some basics on that.
Thank you very much, Diana. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about next week. Next week will be short sales, will be NODs and prospecting to NODs and short sales. Thank you, Diana. That's awesome. Good. All right, guys. Well, we have had our day. We are done. Get out there and prospect. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I hope to see you this week in the office.
Get well soon, Brandy. We miss you. We love you.
Thank you. I missed you guys too. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.